This is KGW News at noon.
Welcome to the News at Noon. I'm Drew Carney. Today is primary day in Oregon, so we're going to start with a reminder that, unlike past years, you can drop your ballot in the mailbox on Election Day itself. That's the big change this year in Oregon. Again, as long as your ballot is postmarked by today, it will count. The other option that is still in play, dropping off your ballot at a county election site drop box. You have until 8 o'clock tonight to do that. And one other change you may have noticed this year, a lot of counties have done away with those secrecy sleeves for the return envelope. They've gone with a weave in the paper instead to help keep your ballot private. By the way, if you need help finding one of those official drop boxes, here's what you can do. Text the word election to 503-226-5088 and we'll text you back with a link to the story on our website with information about county drop box locations. And we also have a special online election show that is happening tonight. It starts at 7:30. It'll feature all the latest results. You can check it out at KGW.com, on the KGW mobile app, and on the KGW YouTube channel. On this primary day, I vote for more Rod Hill in the News at Noon. Oh, there it is. Rodney, it worked.
The votes actually have come in for sunshine, and that's where I begin. So everybody's at least partly cloudy, and much of the area is just sunny. And we'll put Lincoln City in the just sunny department. Here's our live camera at Chinook Winds Casino and Resort. Temperature 57 degrees. Really nice day. Here's a look at the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club out in Aloha. One of the spots that did dip, I believe, into the upper 30s this morning. Nice rebound at noon, 58 degrees. And there's a partly cloudy scene, kind of some flat cumulus clouds scattered over downtown Portland. We're at 60, so we're going to continue to see at least as much sun as we have been seeing and maybe break out into a bit more. So I'm going to leave our high today at 70 degrees. Be a nice evening for you too, 64 at 8 o'clock. Take advantage because when you wake up tomorrow morning, it will be raining and we'll have that wet forecast for the next couple of days coming up in just a bit.
All right, thank you, Rod.
I told people I was the suspect because it's always the wife.
Nancy Crampton Brophy is back on the stand today for a second day of questioning in her murder trial. The local romance novelist is accused of shooting and killing her husband, Daniel Brophy, in June of 2018. Today's line of questioning focused on Nancy's interest and possession of guns and gun parts. Nancy claims she had guns for two main reasons: for defense and for research for a novel that she was writing. The prosecution pressed Nancy on that, though, asking her today why she didn't tell investigators about all of her guns. Nancy says she didn't tell investigators about what she called her research weapon because she said it wasn't assembled and because investigators didn't ask her about it.
You would agree that you never told law enforcement that you owned this ghost gun kit?
No, because this ghost gun kit, despite the fact you refer to it as a weapon on a regular basis, is not a weapon unless I hit somebody over the head with the case. There's nothing about that gun kit that's a gun. Except that if you
Nancy's trial was expected to end this Friday, but the judge now expects the trial to end sometime early next week. Nancy is still on the stand right now, by the way, and we're carrying her trial live on KGW.com. We'll also bring you all the new developments from the trial later today during our news at 4 p.m. and on our website. 4 Oregon inmates are suing the state of Oregon and the public defender's office because they're not able to get a lawyer. We know there is a shortage of public defenders in the state right now, so Devin Haskins is joining us for more on that shortage and the inmates' lawsuit. Devin?
Yeah, Drew, that lawsuit, 11 pages long, and says those 4 defendants in the lawsuit have all been without a public defender since being arrested and charged. Some even showing up to their court dates only to have the case delayed because the lawyer isn't available. Now, the shortage of public defenders has been a growing issue in Oregon. Earlier this year, the American Bar Association says that the state has only a third of the public defenders that it needs. The lawsuit names both Governor Kate Brown, the state of Oregon, and Stephen Singer, who is the head of Oregon's Office of Public Defense Services. The plaintiffs aren't asking for more public defenders. Instead, they want the state to either provide an attorney for them or dismiss the charges. The lawyers say people of color are the most impacted by this public defender shortage, citing that of the 83 defendants in jail waiting for an attorney as of April 29th of this year, 19 of them, or 23%, were black.
Black and brown folks continue to bear the brunt of any deficiencies in the system, and this is really no different. So we want to make sure that folks don't lose sight of the fact that in addition to this just being a problem across the board, that it is having a particularly harmful effect on Black and brown defendants, their families, and their communities.
Now, the lawsuit is also asking that it be opened up for a class action lawsuit. It says there are 500 people charged with a crime that can't get a public defender. They say 30 of them are still in jail. Drew?
All right, Devin, thanks for that update this afternoon. We also have an update to a story from last week. We now know the name of the man accused of shooting at a passing car in the Lentz neighborhood of Southeast Portland last Wednesday. 29-year-old Colin Duffy faces several charges, including attempted murder and assault. Police say he fired shots at a passing car on Southeast Flavel near the Springwater corridor. The driver was injured from the glass that shattered. Duffy suffered a gunshot wound, but it's still not clear how that happened. In Northeast Portland, vandals covered a decades-old church in graffiti. Staff at the church arrived Monday morning to discover their building was tagged with words like Satan and kaboom. The pastor believes the vandalism is a hate crime. Someone also stole the catalytic converter on a van that belongs to the church, but police don't think that these two crimes are connected. An aggression man is behind bars today after police say he broke into an 89-year-old woman's home and bound her to a chair with electrical tape. So this happened last Tuesday in Hood River at the Mid-Columbia Mobile Estates. Investigators say 51-year-old Kevin McCallum of Gresham forced his way into the woman's home, and court documents show that he threatened her with a taser before he tied her to the chair with that electrical tape.
It's one of those ones that shocks the conscience, right? Somebody of that age being preyed upon in that way is disturbing to anybody in the community.
After that first burglary, investigators say McCallum also broke into the home next door, but no one was home there at the time. Court documents say McCallum knew the owners of that second home and that he had met their son in prison. On Thursday, after a multi-agency investigation, U.S. Marshals arrested McCallum in Gresham. He's in jail on multiple charges, including kidnapping, coercion, and burglary.